Dark Age by Pierce Brown. This is book 5 of the Red Rising series. This one was interesting, but not quite as page-turning as the others. So this is 92 chapters, 752 pages. This is a bit of a monster. Wow. So this is kind of this is book 2 of the trilogy, and right there's the first 3, and then there's kind of the second 3, and the third book isn't out yet. So this was hard. It's hard seeing the ending and not being able to continue. So I think it's June or July, so just a few months away. But really, this was about an interplanetary war with mechs. Lots of machinery, technology, but also spears and horses. So set on Mercury. This is the struggle for Mercury. It's been liberated by the Rising, but the leaders, the Ash Lord, the previous society, is trying to retake Mercury. So this is that struggle. Picks up at the end of the last book, Iron Gold. Really, it is a bit of a world building experience. There's kind of like the last book was a transition, and this is a little bit more of that transition in that you have the original trilogy main characters, the point of view characters being Darrow, Servo, the Telemances, Julie, Lysander, all those, or I guess Lysander's the new school. Never mind. Anyways, Darrow was the main character of the original trilogy. This second trilogy is more new school in that you get Lyria, Ephraim, Pax, Electra, and Lysander. So, it's kind of like the next generation passing the torch. There was 10 years in between the first trilogy and this trilogy. So, Battle for Mercury happens a lot in the desert. Lots of desert warfare. I did really enjoy those desert battles. There was some unique technology, things you wouldn't normally have to worry about on a regular battlefield that was, needed to be dealt with in the desert, in the sand. So that was really cool, really interesting. There was a lot of world building. There were a number of characters on the society side that really only got passing mention in the first trilogy. So that was kind of a bit of a struggle for me, but they are setting it up for the third book. So looking forward to that. I was unsure whether to continue. The first trilogy really wrapped it up nicely. This one, I was really just rooting for Volga. I liked the new school characters. They did grow on me. Laria and Ephraim, they did grow on me, but Volga was the real reason why I kept reading. I liked her story, her character, her activities. It was really neat learning more about the obsidians. That was really cool. I did like that area, and that was another reason why I continued reading this. I was really bummed that Mustang, this is the 5th book, and that was the first time that Mustang got a point of view character. Like, she has chapters from her point of view, and I feel like that should have happened before now. I think she became sovereign 2 books ago, so yeah, good stuff. But another thing I didn't like was, I feel like there's like this cliche thing going on with cloning. I feel like whenever sci-fi gets into nanobots, some types of time travel, cloning, or aliens, I feel like it's almost like sweeping problems under the rug, or like bringing back something that probably should have already been finished. So I was kind of unsure about that. It didn't really feel like it fit, but it is what it is, and hopefully more comes in the next book that explains it better. My favorite part about this book is Ephraim's Mars dropship landing. That was just such a fun scene. And really the whole Obsidian camp and learning about them was a lot of fun as well. I am interested to learn more about the Mind's Eye. We get a taste with Lysander. He talks about it briefly, how he learned and how he uses it. So really cool there as well. Lots of quotes in this one. I was able to keep a lot that I liked. This first one is from Asgard, the obsidian religious leader, warlock kind of guy. And he said, life is meant to be felt. Why else live? The valleys make the mountains. So that stood out to me, right? You're going to have ups and lows. You can't know what joy is without sorrow. So that was really powerful. I liked that one. Another one, as a human, I am only entitled to death. Lysander is in the desert. Seven, you know, peerless, scarred warriors come after him to take him out. And, you know, 1 versus 7, that's not a fair fight. He's not a peerless, scarred. He hasn't gone through combat training. And so, you know, he has to even the odds. And they say, any last words? And he says, you know, all I'm entitled to is death. And I really like that because, you know, he's such a spoiled silver spoon kind of guy, right? Like he had everything he ever wanted as grandson to the leader of the universe. And, you know, he says the only thing I'm entitled to is death. And to me, that really stood out because I hate when people say deserve, because it's just a word that I feel like everybody's like, oh, I deserve this, I deserve that. And it's like, yeah, like are you really entitled to that? And this was like big, right? Like all humans, we all live, we all pass away. And so, you know, the only thing you're really entitled to at the end is death. So it was a hard truth, but it was really cool. So what else? Let's see. This one is another from the shaman, the obsidian shaman. Let's see. The more blessed the creature, the less they question life. Yeah, so, you know, right? Again, with the silver spoon thing, if somebody has an easy life, they're not going to go asking philosophical questions or digging into the deepness and why, you know, things happen the way they do. It's just, oh, this works. It's good. Move on with your life. So those with struggles would more likely to. And then Mustang, point of view character, she is awesome. She's talking to her brother, right? The jackal. So I don't want to reveal too much, but every father makes a mess of things. It's just a matter of if he cared when he did it. So wow, as a dad, I gotta say, like, yeah, I messed some things up and learned the hard way. I've tried my best to care about it and improve and be a better father. So that was kind of cool. That hit home a little bit. And yeah, two more quotes here that are at the end that were lots of fun. I think this one's Lysander. Let's see. The world is a maze without a center. Become it or be lost forever. That's actually the previous, it's from that line, but it's the original sovereign. So, Lysander's great grandfather. And yeah, it kind of tied everything together because it really has been like a puzzle. Everybody, you know, slowly unveiling, you know, secrets within secrets. And you really just have to accept it that life does go on even with all the struggles. So that was really cool and fit nicely with this whole series, I think. Let's see, this last quote, I don't know why I can't get to it. This is the Love Knight on her deathbed talking to Lysander. This is like the very end. Love may give one wings, but everything burns when it flies too close to the sun. It's funny. You always promise yourself you won't become a cliche. You won't be the person who yammers about their school years with old friends, trying to relive the glory. Then you do. You won't be the soldier who doesn't bother learning the names of the fresh troops because they won't be there tomorrow. Then you are. You won't get last breath confessions. Then you must. Yeah, really the first part, everything burns when it gets too close to the sun. Yeah, this was a tangled web, and really with the whole maze thing without the center from the last quote, just adding layers. So the author did a really good job with the characters. I liked there was growth from Lysander. There was, conflict in both Mustang and Darrow. Electra and Pax grew in this. Volga is in the middle of a whole nother power struggle. So there is a lot going on. This is a big book. It is worth your time if you enjoy the Red Rising series. Just know that there is a lot to it. I think there was like 3 or 4 different giant battles, and this one, it was a good book. So lots of exciting things happening in the Red Rising universe, and I'm looking forward to the 6th book. So yeah, this series, lots of good characters, lots of strong characters. The descriptions are really good, and lots of hardship. There's a lot of brutality, but really action, space, adventure. If you like sci-fi, this book is right up your alley. So remember to buy your books used.